Choosing a free VPN can be difficult. So many VPNs limit your speed or data use, and today I wanted to take a look at Proton VPN and Atlas VPN, two of the most popular free VPNs, to see which one is worth your time. I started off my testing comparing the speed of Atlas VPN and Proton VPN. Atlas VPN was consistently fast. I was able to get about 500 megabits per second down on my gigabit fiber connection, and that applied to any server I connected to and any location. Now, with Proton VPN, I also had certain servers where I got 500 megabits per second down, but I also had other servers where I got as little as 3 megabits per second down, which was very painful to use. Now, I think it's worth noting that Proton VPN lets you select a different server manually from the menu, where Atlas VPN just goes by location. So if I select US New York on Atlas VPN, they're just picking the fastest server in New York to connect me to, where Proton VPN will let me connect to server 123, but maybe there's a reason that I shouldn't connect to that server. The auto connect function with Proton VPN always found a fast server, so overall, I think the speed is pretty even between the two VPNs, but Atlas VPN was more consistent. One of the reasons speed is so important with a free VPN is because many users like to stream shows on Netflix and Hulu that maybe you can only access in another country, and a VPN lets you change your location so it appears as if you're in that country. Then you can access those shows on Netflix or Hulu or whatever the platform is. But streaming is not great on either of these VPNs. They both don't guarantee that streaming is even supported. In my testing, I was not able to get streaming to work ever on Proton VPN. I tried Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus, and it didn't work across the board no matter which server or which location I was connected to. On Atlas VPN, I had a bit more luck. I was able to get Netflix to work on every server, but that was it. And it's also worth noting that the locations available on the free VPNs are not very expansive. So for Proton VPN, you can choose between the US, Japan, and the Netherlands. And for Atlas VPN, you can pick between the US and the Netherlands. So you're not gonna have many choices on which country to put yourself in to unblock content. So if neither of these VPNs perform well with streaming, then how do these VPNs do with protecting your browsing activity? Well, both VPNs have a strict no logs policy, which means anything you do while connected to the VPN is not going to be logged or stored on any of their servers. But that's pretty much standard in the VPN industry, and if any VPN does not say it has a no logs policy, it would be immediately disregarded. So in other words, just because a VPN says it has no logs doesn't necessarily mean you should trust it. And we can see this with Proton VPN. Their sister company Proton Mail had an incident where user IP addresses were accessed by French authorities. So somehow Proton Mail was storing IP addresses. They were caught doing something that they said they weren't doing. So using this example, we can go, well, should we really trust Proton VPN? I'm kind of sketched out by it personally. It's also important to consider the jurisdiction where a VPN company is based, because that country's data laws are going to apply to the VPN company. So Proton VPN is based in Switzerland and Atlas VPN is based in the US. Switzerland is a very privacy-friendly country with data laws, which is good news for Proton VPN, but Atlas VPN is based in the US, which is part of the Five Eyes Alliance. This is an intelligence sharing program between countries like the US, Australia, and the UK, where they all share data with each other, and this is not good news for a VPN that's based in one of those countries. Reputation is another critical thing to research when considering a VPN's privacy, and in the case of Proton VPN, they've already proven that they might not be the most trustworthy, but Atlas VPN hasn't had any known cases of sharing user data, and according to their warrant canary, they have not even received requests from law enforcement to share that data. This is both a good thing and a bad thing, because we know they haven't shared user data, but we also don't know what they would do if they got a request from law enforcement. Neither free VPN has much to offer in the way of extra features. If you've ever researched paid VPNs, you've probably seen that they offer features like ad blockers, tracker blockers, kill switches, sometimes even password managers, but you're not going to find most of these things in a free VPN. Both Proton VPN and Atlas VPN offer an ad and tracker blocker, but these are restricted to the paid plans. They both offer kill switches in the free plans, and Proton VPN has something they call Secure Core, which is a paid feature. This is where they run your traffic through the most secure servers in more privacy-friendly countries. And Atlas VPN does offer free data breach monitoring, so you can see if your email or credit card number or social security number was ever compromised. As you can see from these extra features, most of them are restricted to paid accounts for Proton VPN and Atlas VPN. But the biggest limitation to Atlas VPN is that you're restricted to 5 GB of data per month. So it's almost like a test account or a free trial. You're not going to be able to do a whole lot with that 5 GB data cap. You're also restricted to 2 locations, being the US and the Netherlands. Proton VPN's free plan has no data caps, which is a big advantage because you can actually use Proton VPN as a true free VPN, but they are limiting speed. They say on their website that their 10 gigabit servers are restricted for their paid plan, and this is definitely evidenced by the 3 megabits per second that I got when testing one of their servers. Obviously, both of these free VPNs are hoping you'll upgrade to the paid plans, but are either worth the money? Well, Proton VPN offers a 1-year account for $71.88, and that gives you access to their fastest servers, all their locations, and their secure core feature. Atlas VPN offers a 1-year account for $39.42, and that gives you access to all their locations and their ad blocker and tracker blocker. Honestly, I think Atlas VPN is a way better value here. It's almost half the price, and they have a much cleaner reputation than Proton VPN when it comes to privacy, and everything else just works great. But if you absolutely need a free VPN, which free VPN is worth using? Well, my favorite free VPN is Atlas VPN. It is so far ahead of the competitors with speed and quality, and although there is a 5 gig data cap, I think this is going to be doable for many users who are on the go and just do light web browsing, and maybe you don't need a VPN 24/7. Maybe you'll just use it when you're at the coffee shop or traveling between cities, and for that, Atlas VPN is wonderful. But if you really need a free VPN that has unlimited data, Proton VPN is honestly one of your only options. I can't find many free VPNs that offer unlimited data. Proton VPN is the main player in the space doing that, so if you need unlimited data and you need a $0 price tag, then Proton VPN is the obvious choice. If you're considering upgrading to the paid plan of either of these VPNs, I would highly recommend Atlas VPN. And if you want a paid VPN that has more features and is a smoother experience, my favorite overall VPN is NordVPN. If you're curious about my thoughts on the top paid VPNs, I have an entire comparison video on that here.